For a while, they were on top of the world. Hit songs, legions of fans, and constant media attention. But eventually, the spotlight dimmed. Their music lost its appeal, streaming numbers dipped, and they found themselves scrambling to stay relevant. It was easy to feel untouchable in the flush of success, as if fame would last forever. But they soon forgot fame is fleeting, and every rising superstar must face a downfall. What's up? I'm Elroy. I create weekly documentary videos exploring the craziest stories. Today, we look in the story of 3 rappers whose rise to fame were matched only by their rapid fall off. How did these artists who once seemed excited to change hip-hop struggle to stay on top? Growing up in a housing project in Patterson, Fetty Wap's early life was challenging. He developed glaucoma in both eyes as an infant, which led to the loss of his left eye. Despite his disability, Fetty was drawn to music from a young age. Inspired by his mother, who also was a singer, he initially started as a rapper in high school, but didn't gain traction until much later. Growing up broke, he had to resort to the streets to make a living. With the drive to making it hip-hop, Fetty Wap independently released his debut single, Trap Queen, in early 2014.
I'm like, hey, what's up, hello? Since your pretty ass soon as you came in the door.
The song became a sleeper hit, gradually gaining popularity through the internet and radio, peaking at number 2 on the US Billboard Hot 100 in May 2015. The track's success highlighted Fetty's skill and unique vocal range, characterized by his signature raspy voice and use of sing rapping. This debut was followed by 2 other top 10 singles, 679 and My Way, which further cemented his place in the music industry. And it didn't stop there. Fetty Wap's commercial success led to a record deal with 300 Entertainment, and he released his self-titled debut album in September 2015, which debuted at number 1 on the Billboard 200. 2015 was Fetty Wap's year. He became the first male rapper with 3 songs occupying the top 20 spots on the Billboard Hot 100 chart since Eminem in 2013, and the first male rapper in 4 years to have singles reach the top 10 of the same chart since Lil Wayne in 2011. He was original and had a fresh voice in hip-hop. What was not to love? However, it all started to turn around as the pressures of fame and sudden wealth brought major challenges. Fetty Wap's life offstage had many issues, including several paternity disputes. Fetty had at least 6 children with 5 different women, and some of his children and mothers have accused him of insufficient financial support and neglect, and have gone as far as taking their grievances to public, especially on social media platforms. For example, the mother of one of his daughters publicly called him out for not fulfilling his child support obligations. Fetty Wap has even had to undergo DNA tests to establish paternity as part of legal actions to determine child support levels and custody arrangements. These paternity and child support issues eventually overshadowed his music career, drawing both media attention and public. His involvement in crime and legal issues didn't make it any easier. For instance, in 2017, Fetty Wap was arrested and charged with drunk driving after police said he was caught drag racing another car in New York City. As the years passed, his follow-up singles and album attempts did not meet the expectations set by his debut, leading to a gradual decline in his mainstream presence. Frankly, fans weren't interested in whatever he had going on anymore, as they had moved on. The most significant blow came in October 2021, when the FBI arrested Fetty Wap on federal drug charges. He was accused of participating in a conspiracy to smuggle large amounts of heroin, fentanyl, and other drugs into New York City. The charges carried a minimum sentence of 5 years and a maximum life in prison. Currently, Fetty Wap is in custody awaiting sentencing. His story serving as a cautionary tale of pitfalls accompanying rapid fame in the entertainment industry. Despite his legal troubles, his music still holds a place in his fans' hearts, reminiscent of the potential many feel was squandered. However, Fetty Wap's decline wasn't as abrupt as this next rapper, whose fall off occurred as quickly as his rise. Before he came onto the scene, Trinidad James worked various jobs, including at a Waffle House, but his true passion was in fashion, which led him to a job at a downtown Atlanta clothing boutique. It was here, surrounded by Atlanta's street culture, that James' interest in music deepened. In 2012, Trinidad James took the hip-hop world by storm with his debut single, All Gold Everything.
Dark skin, light skin, Asian and white women.
The track, which had a catchy hook and James' unique style in the accompanying music video, became a viral sensation, gaining millions of views on YouTube. The song's success led James to signing a reported $2 million record deal with Def Jam Records. His debut single eventually reached gold status and propelled his mixtape, Don't Be Safe, into the mainstream, making Trinidad James the dictionary definition of an overnight superstar, and a few months later, a one-hit wonder. James himself was most surprised by his sudden success, having only started rapping a year before, but despite his initial success, Trinidad James' career quickly turned left. His efforts to replicate or prolong the success of All Gold Everything failed. At a Converse Rubber Track Studio event in Brooklyn, he made a mistake by making a controversial remark that upset the audience. During his performance, he stated that Atlanta was now dominating hip-hop, efficiently declaring, "Atlanta runs y'all musically."
But now we run y'all musically. That's crazy. That's crazy. And now every that's really popping out of New York, you might as well tell he's from Atlanta. He's from Atlanta.
This statement did not sit well with the New York crowd, leading to boos and a negative response from attendees. Charlamagne the God, a host on a radio show, The Breakfast Club, reacted strongly. Charlamagne awarded Trinidad James the title of Donkey of the Day, a segment on the show where Charlamagne highlights what he considers a foolish or dumb behavior. He criticized Trinidad James for his comments, labeling him as a horrible rapper who makes garbage music, amongst other things.
Nobody wants to hear about the state of hip-hop from someone who spits the utmost garbage when they step in the booth. Now, well, give Trinidad James the biggest hee-haw.
By 2014, just 2 years after his rise, Def Jam dropped him from the label, citing underperformance and failure to deliver on the promise of his debut album. "I should let everyone know," Trinidad James tweeted, "I've been dropped from the label. My album is now free. If you hear your beat or verse on it, I hope you're cool with a fist bump because I'm broke." This announcement sparked many reactions, ranging from supportive messages to harsh criticism. The news quickly spread across the hip-hop community online. As the initial shock wore off, James found himself pondering his future moves. During this period of self-reflection and battling low spirits, Mark Ronson and Bruno Mars reached out to James to use his iconic line, "Don't believe me, just watch," from All Gold Everything. In their upcoming track, Uptown Funk, this collaboration resulted in James earning an 8% royalty, which has added up to about $150,000 since the song's release. Trinidad James' career continued to face setbacks, including legal issues. In February 2014, he was arrested in Mississippi for marijuana possession after allegedly smoking in a Holiday Inn hotel room in Batesville. Hotel employees had complained about the smell. However, given Mississippi's penalties for the first-time offense involving small amounts of marijuana, the charges against James were eventually dropped, allowing James to go on his merry way. Inspired by these events and lessons learned from challenging music industry experiences, James rebooted his music career independently, launching his own label, Gold Gang Records. While independent artistry is often romanticized, thanks to figures like Chance the Rapper, it comes with its own set of challenges, especially for someone like James with limited resources. Many independent artists struggle to achieve the recognition that might bring Grammy Awards or headline gigs, which usually turn into big bucks. Determining to succeed on his own terms, James committed to the independent route, taking pride in financially supporting himself, his artists, his producers, and charging between $5,000 to $20,000 per show. But all this just led to James facing more financial and professional challenges. Continued to release music independently, including singles and mixtapes. None managed to reach the viral heights of his debut. His public persona took hits, and his influence in the music industry waned considerably. On November 27, 2019, during an appearance on a well-known rap talk show, No Jumper, Trinidad James shared his favorite rappers at the time, that were Doja Cat and Lil Nas X. He expressed his admiration for them, saying, "I love these guys, partly because their flow reminds me of myself." Later in the interview, when discussing his hopes for these artists, James expressed his concerns candidly, stating, "I would hate to see them quit. The last thing I would want them to do is fall off like I did." Today, Trinidad James has taken a more diversified approach to his career. Apart from continuing his music, he has ventured into media and fashion more. He became a co-host on Full Size Run, a popular YouTube series by Soul Collector, where he discusses sneaker culture and fashion, and also breaks down his style to other rappers. Despite the challenges faced by the stars mentioned above, none have experienced a fall as unexpected as Rae Sremmurd, nor has anyone remained as much in denial about their circumstances as the brothers. Swae Lee and Slim came onto the music scene with a fresh energy that was hard to be ignored. Hailing from Mississippi, they embodied the spirit of young, carefree fun and quickly became known for party anthems that resonated with a vast audience. Their rise began with the release of their debut album, Trim Life, in 2015. Under the guidance of producer and mentor Mike Will made its label, Air Drummers. The album was a commercial success, fueled by his hits like No Flex Zone and No Type. These tracks not only dominated the charts, but also became cultural touchstones of that year, earning the group critical acclaim and a rapid growing fan base. Following their initial success, Rae Sremmurd didn't slow down. They released Trim Life 2 in 2016, which included the mega hit Black Beatles featuring Gucci Mane.
That girl is a real crowd, please.
The song gained additional fame from the viral Mannequin Challenge, helping it reach the top of the Billboard Hot 100. As their star rose, it seemed unlikely they would even consider going solo. But fame came with pressures, and soon the cracks began to show. Speculations about the duo's stability started to circulate, particularly because Swae Lee's contributions were more recognized than Slim. Swae Lee was seen more as a charismatic brother, with catchier hooks and more melodic style that featured in the biggest hits. This perceived imbalance led to rumors of a possible split, as both brothers started exploring solo projects. In 2018, they released Shroom, a triple album featuring solo efforts from each brother, alongside a joint album.
You can hear him on the standout songs, you can hear me on some standout songs.
This project was seen by many as a confirmation of the brothers' growing creative differences. Tensions intensified when Slim hinted a potential solo and now deleted tweets in January 2019. Though these were quickly downplayed by messages from Swae, who reassured fans that Rae Sremmurd was not disbanding. Despite these reassurances, it was obvious all wasn't well, and the duo might not last much longer as a unit. After a period, Swae Lee and Slim continued to work on a solo project. Swae Lee has been particularly visible, featuring in high-profile collaborations and enjoying success with singles like Sunflower with Post Malone, which became a chart-topping hit and further solidified his status as a star in his own right. On January 6, Swae tweeted that he was never leaving Trim Life, with their producer Mike Will made it, revealing that another Swae Lee solo LP is in the works. In April 2018, Billboard asked Slim if there was any sibling rivalry, to which he responded, "I'm so glad you asked that. If people see me out and I have a stank face on, they think I'm mad because of that. But I'm mad at them because they want me to be mad. I'm always singing Unforgettable when it comes on in the club. But people look at me like, is it okay if I dance to this? It's no competition. We're brothers. At the end of the day, we're getting a bag." Swae continued to see mainstream success, and Slim, on the other hand, started facing personal and legal challenges overshadowing his music output. And with the birth of his kids, he wants to take a step back and be a better example for them, or so he says. In January 2019, during an overseas tour in New Zealand, Slim was involved in a street fight that reportedly led to someone being stabbed. The details surrounding the incident were murky, but it was reported that police were called to the scene that the altercation was pretty serious. Later in March 2021, Slim was arrested in Miami on a battery charge after allegedly attacking his girl during an argument about her following ex-boyfriend on social media. According to reports, the altercation became physical, and he was accused of pulling her hair extensions and scratching her leg. Amidst all the personal achievements and struggles, there have been hints of reunion and possible projects. In interviews, both acknowledged their energy as brothers has been irreplaceable, and they even got back briefly in 2023 to release Shrimp Life 4. This album received mixed reviews and had a modest performance compared to their previous albums. It faced challenges in gaining significant traction on major charts, and its singles did not reach the high position typically of their past release. Despite these challenges, the album was appreciated by longtime fans of the duo, who were eager to see the collaboration again. It demonstrated their continued chemistry and ability to produce quality music. And even though Shrimp Life 4 served as a comeback that reaffirmed Rae Sremmurd's presence in the music scene, it also served as the perfect example of their fall off more than anything else.